Hello everyone, welcome to Brenda's Brushstrokes and Bisque Painting Live on Thursday, February 20th at 7 Central Time, and this is Brenda. And on Thursday night lives we paint our bisque pieces that are coordinated with our bisque box for the month. So this month we have our birdhouses that we did in the metallic, called Winter Birds is the box. So this was our birdhouses, and then we had our chickadees. And we had our cardinals, and we did these guys last week. So we did have a couple questions about how much, if they were too dark. So I'm trying to bring it up closer so you can see that there's actually a lot of color on there with the coppery gold. So if you're still very black yet, you need a lot more metallic rubbed on. So really there's, in the creases is the only areas where you'll see the black yet. So I hope that helps with that, and then we'll show you the silver ones. Again, you can see that there's lots of silver on there, and just the black base coat is left in the creases. So we'll set those aside. And we started our marbling on our brown copper birdhouse, and we set that aside. We'll do the perches later today, and now tonight we're going to work on our blue and silver one to go with our chickadees, but you can switch around the colors any way you want. So Cordy had a couple things I can show you guys. Our color wheels arrived, and they're a 3-piecer, I think it is. Yep, 3 pieces. So these can ship in your bisque box for free shipping, and the charge is $6 each. So it's a special price for our bisque box purchase. So these things are really handy if you're not very good with color. There's instructions on them how to use them. But say you picked out, let's say you picked out blue. You can look. So if you wanted to paint something blue and you didn't know what colors to go with it, you could look at the colors on each side of it. You can look at the color across from it, and then you can do the red and blue, or the red and yellow also, which is your primary colors. And then you can even look on the back and say you just wanted to go with blue, and you can look down, you can see the shades of blue that how the blues go together. So, and you can spin this thing any way you want. So like here's, if you had the red orange and you added more red to it, you would have more of a reddish orange. And if you had the orange and you added the yellow to it, you have more of a yellow orange. So you can spin those around, and it's just really helpful for helping you pick colors. And on the back you have the triangle, so like this the blue-green here, and you follow the little triangle down, so these colors would go with it, and then these colors would go with it. Or you can so we'll spin this over one to get to the other triangle. So now it's got these colors going with it, and you follow this one and it's got these colors going with it. So that'll help you match up colors if you're not very good with figuring out what colors go to which colors. So you can see both this side spins and this side spins, and this helps you with changing the shades of the color. So in the reds and the yellows, and the oranges, those are your warm colors, and then over here is your blues and your purples, those are your cooler colors. So those are really handy. So that's a new product that we added Wednesday. Then we also have the Royal and Langnickel Artist Pastels, which are actually chalks, and they are your extra that's coming in the March box, and it's a full-size chalk set. And we had ordered more than we needed, but the boxes have grown, so we haven't put them on the website right yet. Cordy added a handful to the website in case you only want the chalks. I should Do you want to grab the one out of my box, and then we don't have to open this, that way someone could have it if we need it. So this is how they come in. It's in the bottom of the paint box I brought. So I don't want to open this because we only have 5 or 6 extras, and then that way someone could have buy this if they wanted to. But you can see it's the full-size chalk. It's the extra that's in the March box if you purchase the March box. And along with the March box, it's the Easter theme. So we have this cute little, this is our Bisque Hoppy Easter. So we got our cute little bunny, and then we have our Easter eggs. He's about 10.5 inches tall, and then along with him, we have 2 larger size Easter eggs. One has the hole on the bottom, so it's vertical, and then this hole is on the bottom too, but he's horizontal. So you'll be getting two Easter eggs, and we'll be painting those as chicks. So that's something a little different for you guys. You're gonna show them a bunch of different ones. And then as part of the box, it'll be the chicks, but we will have extra class time, so I will be doing some other techniques as well just to show you. So if you wanted, you could order extra eggs as well, like you could with the birds. So one of the things we'll be doing is the shaving cream technique, the blowing bubbles technique. What else? I have about 6 different techniques, so we'll try to fit most of those in. Another one is base coating it and putting rubber bands or string on it and then painting it. Another one is a crackle technique, which you can do just using Elmer's glue all. So we'll, besides doing our box, which we'll paint them up as little yellow chicks, and then there's a little special things to go with them to make them really cute. We'll probably have like the last recording, the live, will be of doing extra techniques with Easter eggs. And if you want, you'll be able to get some extra eggs in your boxes. So that's our eggs for our boxes, and then the chalk. So I already have mine out because I'm working on painting the Easter bunny. So this is what the chalks look like. They're full-size pieces. They'll last you a long time. They can be frustrating for some people to use, so we're going to go at it slow. We're going to use them basically for shading and for doing blushing on our bunny, and then we'll, as we go down the months, we'll do other projects with them, so you can use them a little bit at a time and just get used to using them without going into a full piece, the entire project being all chalks and being frustrated with it. Because the color goes on really slow, and you have to seal it in between the layer, and then you put another layer and you seal it again, and another layer and seal it again. And since we're not in person, we're just gonna start out with a little bit, and we're gonna start out with blushing our bunny with the pink, and maybe doing some shading of the Easter eggs in the crevices with the other colors. So just kind of break you guys in slow with those. But if you're getting the March box, that is your big extra that's in that box, and there's a few other little extras that'll be in there too. So that's the nice chalks is from Royal and Langnickel, and we do, Courtney does have them on the site now, about 5 of them she said, but we'll be able to get more in March when we go to the show too. So that's where that is, and then tonight we'll do our blue house. And then as the extra for these guys, you guys could get birds if you wanted to learn how to actually paint these out if you don't like the metallics. So we'll probably start with the Cardinals tonight. And then we'll also paint out our chickadees. So that's kind of extras for this month as well. So we're going to start with our little birdhouse. And Courtney's going to zoom in for us. Maybe come a little closer. Perfect. So for our birdhouse, I'm just going to use our Duncan Bisque OS567 navy, and we are going to paint our whole birdhouse top to bottom with our navy, and you want to shake the navy up pretty good so it covers well. So let's see, Courtney's got the
how much the extra eggs will be. We'll know at the end of the last Wednesday of the month. I'll have prices and everything.
So Courtney's says we have a question of how much the extra eggs will be. I'm actually working on pouring and cleaning a bunch of greenware, so I will have different sizes of eggs and different kinds. So by next Wednesday, when Courtney does the drop, right? The Easter drop, we'll have prices of all that stuff.
And I'll make a note of what should be able to fit in a box.
And Courtney will make a note of what should be able to fit in your box. Now, if you got a dozen of this egg, it's not going to fit in your box.
No,
but if you're getting 2, maybe 3 will fit in the box as an extra.
Yeah.
I do have another egg. It's more of a chicken egg size, duck egg. It's a smaller one than this. This one's actually more, it's not quite ostrich size, but it's a pretty good sized egg. It's a medium egg, but it's bigger than what I thought. I can hold the bird next to it so you can see how big it is. They are bigger than what I thought. I think we got to move this light around, Courtney. It's kind of dark. But I will have other eggs by next Wednesday when Courtney does our Easter drop. I have robin egg size eggs. I have the chicken, kind of in between a chicken duck egg size. And then we'll have this big egg, and then I have another egg that's even a little bigger. So I actually took off Friday and Monday to get all that stuff cleaned, so I can get it fired before Wednesday, so Courtney can get it all priced out and ready for you guys to be able to see on Wednesday. So that's kind of where we're at with those. So it looks like we got quite a few of you guys on here ready tonight. So hello everyone. So we'll get back to our birdhouse, and we're just going to base coat him in blue, and I'm just going to use my Royal and Langnickel. I'm going to go with the size 8, the bigger brush, because we're just going to do the whole surface. I just put my acrylic stain on a piece of foil. You can use your tile or let me see, you could use a tile or a styrofoam plate. If you have a paint palette, you can put it on there. So I'm just going to brush back and forth, brush out my blue here real quick. I'm going to move my birdhouses so I don't splatter them all full. So last night I did pour the April boxes so I can get that greenware cleaned and fired and get our samples done, so we can kind of get ahead here a little bit. But February is kind of a short month, so we're kind of crunched on time. So I'm just brushing it back and forth, brushing it out. So how did everyone do okay with their metallic application, or anybody have questions or problems? If it's still too black, you probably need to put more on. So I can okay, yep, we got comments going, so what do we got? A lot of highs. Hi everyone, and they're from everywhere. Is Georgia and Illinois. Good, great, good old Thursday night. It gets here so fast, I can't believe it. So I got to grab some more of our navy blue here. And along with everything that's going on, I did put in my retirement resignation from work today, well yesterday actually. So May 15th is my last day of work. I've been with my employer for over 25 years, and if you've been over 25 years, you can retire instead of just quitting. So I'm going to retire from there, but certainly not quit working. Probably have to work more than ever now. But at least I'll be doing what I like to do, so that's all good.
Need a retirement party?
Cordy says, do I need a retirement party? I doubt it. It ain't really retiring.
Retiring from work.
Probably be working harder than I did before.
I don't know, the last couple months have been pretty heavy.
So when you're doing your bottom, you want to make sure to go on that inside edge again, or where your piece was cut out. So with being able to retire, I'm going to be doing this full time plus my evening time, so that should really help with getting more Bisque online, having local classes. What else? Getting our boxes ahead more so that there's more of a preview time for you guys to see all that stuff. So that'll be good. We do have the boxes planned out through August, so we're pretty good there. But we're going to be sitting down and doing that. So we.
Congratulations.
Oh well, thank you, everyone.
Didn't it feel good?
Yeah, well, it feels good, but it's kind of scary too, because I still have bills to pay. So hopefully our subscribers keep growing, and guess the biggest concern is with summer, that we don't lose too many of you guys over summer, and you keep painting with us over summer, because summer can be a slow time for ceramics and crafts, so just people are busy. But we'll see. I guess I can always go back to work. There's always openings. So. But I have a list of to-do things, like I should be pouring mushrooms and frogs and turtles to get ready for summer and spring, and at this point I don't have time for any of that. So hopefully doing this full time will create that time. I can sit up by my pond and clean greenware all day. Can't get much better than that. So do a lot of you do your ceramics all summer, or do you take a break from like Labor Day, Memorial Day to Labor Day, or is it a year-round thing for you? It's a year-round thing for me. So I guess it kind of depends. I have some 4-H'ers that are interested in coming, so it'll be fun to get those kids involved in this, because it's kind of a dying thing. Last year was kind of the first year they had ceramics at the fair in a few years, so that was nice to see that. So hopefully we can get some more kids with it. So I'm just brushing out my blue, getting a nice base coat on here. We have new people every week, so I always want to show just a little bit of base coating. And you're just putting your paint on and brushing back and forth, brushing out any ridges and puddles. And on the front of my birdhouse, I'm going on the inside edge of that lip too, because you don't want that just to be a stark white. You want it to look nice when someone picks it up and looks at it. It's blurry where my hand is. That's better right there. I think that light, whatever you did, made it better. Oh, I got to go up further too, don't I? Because we should put a piece of paper across the bottom of that screen so I know where I'm not. Otherwise, I think I'm on the screen and I'm not. So the computer screen shows different than what the Facebook, what you guys are seeing. So it's, I thought of that last week. We should put a piece of tape or paper across that screen where it's cut off, so I know that I'm not on the screen. Otherwise, I think I'm in the center, and I'm not really in the center. Oh, do you guys all do it year-round? That's great. That's good to hear. Very good. Do you work on all kinds of things all year, or do you work like on do you work on Christmas stuff in the summer, or do you just do like garden stuff or animals, or come down a little?
Right in the center.
So if I'm in the center on there, I'm okay?
Yeah, when you go, this is not in frame.
Okay. I mean, I know I can work on just about anything, any time of the year, even in the summer, snowmen and penguins, and because I was always getting ready for craft shows. But now, like everything's changing, so I don't know that I'm even going to be doing craft shows. But if someone comes For class, I do have like lots of turtles and mushrooms and frogs and all of those kinds of things. We have lots of big things like that and some smaller things. The smaller things we'll be able to put on the web page that'll be able to ship. Just back and forth and get a nice coat of my navy on here. And then I want to go back and check it over. So we're going to the ceramic show in Ohio in April, so we have to figure out our shopping list as far as molds for the September through, I don't know, we have to figure that out, how far out we're going to go. Because then we can get molds again in August when we go to the Milwaukee show, Waukesha show. Going to the show, we should be able to add some different mold companies besides, the Clay Magic, so that'll be nice.
I think Noel's and Christie, Mako.
Yep. There's quite a few different ones at the show compared to the, even compared to the Waukesha show, so.
Oh, the one in Ohio.
Yeah. But I don't know how much car space we'll have for hauling molds home.
Everybody's gonna have to just hold it in their lap.
Well, that might happen. You haven't traveled with me before.
So it's 8 hour car ride.
A 9.5. It's a 9.5 hour car ride,
Yeah.
plus stopping.
Yeah, your sister's the one stuff.
Yep. We rented a house at Airbnb for Thursday through Sunday. So I got that all base coated really well. So then you always want to wash your brush out really well, and we have the Herald's brush cleaner in the bottom of the water, and you just want to brush back and forth. You don't want to beat your brush on the bottom so you're breaking off the bristles. Just brush back and forth on the rubber pad. Turn your brush, and you can see how well it gets all the paint out. So it's nice and clean. And then I usually take it and dry it with my paper towel and put it back to a point. So let's see what's next. I think we'll let that dry a little bit, and since we already have our birds in metallic, we will start with our cardinals. That Courtney base coated, which really makes, I'm impressed because she's not a painter.
I can paint Doc Holliday black.
Doc Holliday black she likes to paint.
The only color.
That's the only color and the only brand. Oh my goodness. That's a hard one. So for my cardinals, or usually anything red, I always start with a color of rust. And what I have is our DH28 rust, our Doc Holliday rust, because that's what we started with in last July when our boxes started. So you just want to shake that up a little bit and put some on your foil. And then you want to use a dry brush. Oh, what size are we going to use? Well, we'll go with this guy. I have a Royal & Langnickel, our size 8. And that would have been in one of the boxes if you were a subscriber. That was our extra. And all you want to do is take and get the very tip of your brush. You can see it's just the tip has a little bit of rust, and then I'm going to brush back and forth on my paper towel and get that nice and dry. I don't want a lot of paint in one area of the brush. And now we're going to take our cardinals and we're going to brush back and forth across the texture of the cardinal until we get a really nice even coat of rust. And it takes a bit to get the rust built up, and you want to do the bottom too. And I'm just brushing back and forth across my texture, grabbing my little bit of paint and brushing it out. Brushing back and forth, get up under the tail. Grab a little bit of paint and brush it out. And we're just brushing back and forth, and we're going to do the whole bird. We'll come back and do the markings, the black markings on the face. We'll do that when we're all done. So this is what we're going for, but we're starting out with the rust because the rust helps bring that red color up and cover better. So I'm just brushing out my rust and on there and drying out the brush, brushing back and forth. Get under the tail, get the tip of the tail, the bottom. Do we have any questions from anyone?
Yeah, Marie asked, is the pad better than the sponge? I don't know if she was trying to clean the brush.
So Courtney says, Marie asked, is the pad better than the sponge for cleaning the brush?
I don't know if that's what she meant.
Let me see if I can find the question. It says, Marie, is that pad better than a sponge? So that's Harold's brush pad, and it's a rubber, I think you could call it, and it has not a real hard, it has a texture to it, and it's not stiff.
No, it's very pliable.
It's very pliable, and so it won't ruin your brush. So try to give a close-up. So you have all these little squigglies, and your bristles from your brush rub across that. I don't think a sponge would clean as well as this does because it's rubbery, and we have all these little squigglies. So brushing across that, your little bristles get in there, and it just cleans it out really well. Where I think a sponge is smooth, I don't think a sponge would do as well of a job. Those things are great if you don't have one. We're probably sold out this week of those, but I'm actually staying over at Courtney's tonight, and we're putting in the order in the morning. We have to go over it, and so I do know that our distributors at the Atlanta show, are they Atlanta or Florida? Yeah, because I called to see if they had enough paint colors, and he said that they're at the Atlanta show. So we will be putting an order in tomorrow, but we should have the order by the end of next week at the latest, I would think. So we'll have them. So if you're getting a Bisque box, like if you wanted a Harold's brush pad, you can message Courtney and she can add it to your invoice, and then it would ship in your box for free because we cover the shipping on it then. That goes with paints and brushes and. Now the one thing I am painting the Easter Bunny stack right now, and so now you can see this brush is losing a few hairs. That's normal because it's a brand new brush, and after you use it a few times, it'll kind of cease doing that. You may lose one here and there, but some of these brushes that I have like this, they're 10, 12, 15 years old. They last a long time, so. It's normal to lose a few brush bristles when you're first trying out a new brush and you're first using it. So I'm just brushing real gently back and forth across my texture. You don't have to beat really hard on it and really work it in. All you have to do is just brush nice and gentle back and forth, and your color slowly builds up. You want that color to build up slowly in nice thin layers so it has a nice soft look to it without a lot of brush marks that way. So now here I had brush marks, if you can maybe see that. My brush was too wet, but I have a long ways to go yet with the rust, so it will get covered up. So I'm just brushing. I got to get under the tail here. Sometimes I forget about that tail. Just try to squeeze your finger in there. You could probably take, so we have a question of how to get the metallic down in here in this area. You could put it on a brush and brush it in there. You could even try it on the Q-tip. If you had one of those little sponge tip brushes that we got, that would probably work really well too. Otherwise, I mean, I just squish my finger down in there and get it in there as much as I can. Let's see. So you can see it's down in there pretty much. And I just use my fingers, and I actually have really big fingers. So you should be able to just squish your finger down in there from each side. Like go from this side, and then go from this side and up underneath there too. You should be able to get it in there. I mean, I have really big fingers from growing up on the farm, I think. So most genetics. Well, it's from hard work, picking rocks and baling hay, and well, you got little dainty fingers and little toothpicks. That's from hard work. She's laughing. She don't believe me. There's probably some genetics, but it ain't all genetics. She's rubbing her head now. She don't believe me at all. Your sister don't have big hands. My sister, your aunt, she's got dainty hands. She does.
Oh boy.
Oh well. Most people's fingers should fit down in there. If my big fat one can fit in there.
You got short and stout ones.
Short and stout, now you're calling them? Oh my God. Otherwise you can use, just take a brush and dip the brush in a little bit of the metallic, and you should be able to work it in there that way too. So I'm just brushing back and forth across my texture, building up this rust now that we're done talking about my short and stout fingers.
Thin and fragile.
Hers are thin and fragile, yep. That's the first thing your grandfather noticed about you when he seen you the very first time, those long fingers.
When I was a baby.
Yep.
And then I probably started crying.
Probably. So we're just going to keep building this rust up on this guy, and we'll probably switch over to the other one here in a little bit. And then we can switch back over to our birdhouse. Because you can see it's about 50-50 right now with rust and black. We probably want it more like 75% rust and 25% black. We just want the black in the crevices for shadowing. So we're just going to keep building up that rust. And the rust always takes more. The first coat always takes more. And then once we go to the red, the red will go on a lot easier. It won't take as much red. But if we would try to do the red without the rust, it would take forever and ever and ever to get the red. So I'm going to make sure I get up under his tail, because we want that to be red too. And the tip of the tail. And it looks like I kind of missed his chest here. So now this guy could also be painted as a blue jay. So I do believe we'll have an extra class before our boxes are where you guys get your boxes, so that I think the 5th is the Thursday, next Thursday. I'll actually bring another set of birds, and we'll paint a blue jay set, and then the little chickadees, we can paint those up as finches or bluebirds. So we'll do another we'll have another paint night, and it'll be an extra, it's like a little extra lesson on how to paint. I guess let us know if you want birds or if you want a finch for the chickadee type bird, because this guy works really well as a chickadee, a finch, and a bluebird. So we could do a finch or a bluebird. Courtney thinks we should do a bluebird. Well, you guys let us know, and we'll see if it's more bluebirds than finches, and then we'll pick that. But then this one we'll do as a blue jay, because he works as a blue jay too. So I'm going to just get his chest here a little more, and then we can switch over to the other one. So you can see he's closer to 75%. He needs a little more, but we'll let him dry, and then the next layer of color will go on really easy again. So I'm just grabbing my rust again and brushing it out. Just brushing back and forth on the bottom here, going across the texture. Oh.
Sometimes when you show the paint bottles, if you could like hold it. Like, 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 hold it. Like,
Okay, so Lisa, I will try to hold the paint bottle a little bit longer so you can see the. Oh, I guess you can't hear me, but I'll hold the paint colors a little longer so Lisa can see the name of the color that I'm using.
Which red are you going to use?
Oh, okay, we're going to use Barnyard Red. So I'm just dry brushing across my texture. Okay, we got bluebirds. Can you get Lisa base coat, then rust, then red? Yep, you got it. So we're just back and forth, huh? Yeah, I don't know. Cordy does put a color list at the end. I don't, it's probably on the last. It's in the description, the color list. If you're a subscriber, it's also in there. You had an inventory sheet that it's on. Is she a subscriber? No. The name looks familiar. So I'm just brushing again. Just like we did with the last one, brushing across our texture. If you brush with your texture, you're going to fill in the black creases. So that's looks really wet, and there's brush marks. That's too wet, so I got to brush this out. Now we'll go back. See, now it's nice and soft looking, but we got to build that up where it was too wet there now. So let's see what else is going on. Did I tell them that I poured the April box last night? Yep. I didn't tell you what it was though. It's really cute. It's a boy fairy, a girl fairy, and a fairy house. It looks really cute all together as the little set. So we were talking about the colors. So for the April box, because it's springy and it's a lot of light colors, we haven't used a lot of light colors in any of the boxes. We're probably going to have a big list of new colors. I think there's actually 10 new colors. But those colors will be reused in the fairy box. And we may only have 1 or 2 new colors for the fairy box. So if you kind of split it out over 2 months, then it's not so bad. If you look at it that way. But yeah, it's a lot of paint. But we haven't really used pastel colors. We've been using all these darker Christmas colors, woodland, animal colors. So it'll be good for you guys too, because you can get the pastel colors in your color boxes. There's like purple and lilac, Miami pink, and I don't remember all the colors, but there's like aqua. We'll have that all posted by Monday. But the color list is kind of big for that April box, just because we haven't used the pastel colors hardly at all. Well, basically not at all. That's why they're new. I mean, we've had red and green and navy and yellow and brown and the greens and so we're going to be having springy colors, and those colors are also going to carry over into the May box, which will be June is the it's garden, right? It's definitely going to go into the fairy box for sure. They'll be using them on the fairy box, because her little dress is going to be the pinks. His little shirt will be the lime green and the aqua pants. I kind of looked at I made the color list up already last night because we have to order those. Yep, and there's a dragonfly. So we'll be using the purple and the lavender and the lilac and the navy on that. There's ladybugs, so there'll be the rust and the red, which we've been using. So it's a lot of colors actually. We're reusing a lot of colors, but we're using a lot of new colors too for the fairy boxes. The Easter box is just new colors because The bunny is in the grays, and we already used the grays, so it'll be the 3 shades of grays. But then we have one of the oranges, there's the aqua, there's lilac, there's pink, there's blue, which that's a reused color. So I did reuse some colors, but we also have 10 new colors. So, but it's because it's pastels and we haven't used the pastels. So, and I think Courtney's going to be having a special on the paint price, right? An Easter special, so that'll help. And then those colors will be used in the following box on the fairy house too, because the girl will be in the pinks and the boy will be in the lavenders. So they're nice and bright and cheery. We don't want them drabby and winter looking. So I'm just running my mouth here, and I'm dry brushing back and forth across the texture, just trying to get this one up to the same degree of rust as the other one. Getting under my tail. Huh? Yeah, it's a new brush. It'll do that the first time. So I'm just brushing back and forth, getting a nice coat of rust on here so our red goes on easier. And then we have, I'm going to think the next box has a mushroom in it, dragonfly, and I think one of the little faceless gnomes, because they're sitting in my living room and I sorted them out on Tuesday night before class. Then the next month is June, and that is frog. Huh? Well, they're probably wondering. So then the next month they'll have a frog, dragonfly or butterfly, I don't remember, those two might be switched around. And then some more of the little faceless gnomes, so you can actually put that mushroom and the butterfly and the frog. So the May and June boxes will kind of coordinate with each other. You can actually put them together as a little vignette. Because you can put the little frog underneath the mushroom and put the little gnomes beside them from both sets. So that was kind of a nice way to do that. So the extra in that mushroom box will be we're going to glaze the inside of that mushroom so you can put it outside. So that should be kind of fun for you guys. Right, we're going to glaze it and fire it for them, yep. So we'll probably have to do that with the frog too. So that should be a cute little scene. You could have the frog and the mushroom and the little gnomes and then the butterflies and the dragonfly. So that should be cute. So I'm going to get just a little more rust on this guy, and then we'll go back to our birdhouse. And then we're up to July, and July is our Christmas in July, but it's a jangle, something with jangle. It has to do with an elf. So that'll be really cute. Jingle in July, but we're going to have jangle. So that should be cute. It's a Christmas elf. It's a bigger piece too, about as big as we can get in the box.
So you're getting very excited.
Oh, we're getting somebody excited? Great. That's what we want. Lots of excitement.
Hard to pick stuff.
Cordy said it's hard to pick stuff because you try to get something that everybody will kind of like and not offend anybody, and then try to have different techniques where we're a little bit limited because we're doing non-fire techniques mostly. Because a lot of you guys don't have access to shops or kilns, so that was the whole point of the Bisque box. And Shirley likes frogs. Yeah, I do too.
We got a lot of frogs.
We have lots of frog molds. We kind of collected those. And we got some big ones too.
They're really big.
So he's looking pretty good, pretty even with his rust. I'm just going to grab the other one. I'm going to look at him, put them side by side and see. This one you can see has got more rust on than this one, so we're going to give this other one a little bit more, and then we'll go to our birdhouse. So that, Cordy says it's 7:45, so that should be good timing. If anyone has any troubles with your birdhouses or your rust, or your metallic, just send us a message. Courtney's feeling better, but she's yawning over there.
I'm behind on messages.
She says she's behind on messages. She said her muscles felt like they were being ripped from her bones with razor blades. So I think she had a touch of the flu stuff.
Jason had the same.
Oh, Jason had it too this week? Oh boy. Well, I hope I don't get it, because I had that cold long enough. That was all I needed for the whole winter. I'm looking for spring. I see the hummingbirds already reached the United States, so that's a good sign. Maybe. Huh? No, it's supposed to be 6 weeks, but it's 6 weeks till spring, whether he sees his shadow or not. So I'm just going to brush out my brush, and then we can let this guy dry and go to our birdhouse. He should be close to the other one.
It's going to be 40 on Saturday.
Cordy says it's going to be 40 on Saturday, but what is it, like 10 below tonight? So we'll let that guy sit, and we're going to switch over to our blue birdhouse now. And we're going to do our marbling first. And then we'll do the metallic roof last so that we don't have to touch up the roofing after we marble, or if we do that first.
Her husband had it for 3 weeks.
3 weeks? Oh, I believe it. So for our, we're going to do our marbling now on our birdhouse. It's okay if you get it up on your front side of it, and the front of this will touch that up. But we're going to do the body of the birdhouse now. So we have him in navy, and we're going to use our, well, let's see, our baby blue, not baby blue, it is baby blue. Did I have medium blue on the list?
No, I think you just have baby.
Just had baby blue? Let's look at our list. Medium blue we got. It's medium blue on there. Oh, yeah, it's right here, I'll grab it. So I'm going to use my medium blue and my navy blue and then some white. So I'm just going to take my little foil. Huh?
I have something up here.
Right here, it should be good. Well, it's okay, we're good. So I have my Duncan OS567 medium blue. So hopefully you can see that. Okay. So I'm going to put a little pile of that on my foil. And then I'm going to take my baby blue, which is our OS456 baby blue, 456 baby blue, and we're going to let a little space, and we're going to put our baby blue, and then we're going to take our Duncan OS431, our white. Cordy's playing with the light to see if she can get it to show up better, but that I think they can see it. It's OS431 white. Well, it's washing it out. Alrighty, so now I'm going to put a pile of that. The light doesn't seem like it's in the right spot again. So I'm going to take my sponge and I'm going to dip it in my water first. I'm just going to dip it in there and wring it out really well. That's probably better, huh? So now I'm going to load one side of the brush with the baby blue and the other side of the sponge with the baby blue and one with medium blue. Okay, so we'll start on the back, so if it's all ugly, it won't be on the front. No, I can't see. So I'm just gonna dab up and down, turn my sponge.
Like when the light goes on, you can't see what you're doing on the tinfoil.
I can see I'm wiping through it. Can you guys see that I'm wiping through the medium blue and the baby blue? And then it's just on there.
What you're seeing on that screen is not what I'm seeing on
Oh
the
yeah.
screen.
So Cordy says what I'm seeing isn't what you guys are seeing.
No, that's a clean output, and this is not.
So what are they seeing? I don't know. So you can put as much of the medium blue that you want, or as little. So now I'm gonna push down and I'm gonna turn it just a little, and that'll kind of help give that little more of a marbled together look.
Look at your screen over there instead.
You don't want to twist it too much because then you'll have it'll just be smeared. So I think I want more of the medium blue in there. So I'm just going to add some more and then kind of twist it around. So you can have it as dark or light as you want it.
What are some instances where like you would use that technique like on a rock?
You could use, Cordy asked when would you use this technique on backgrounds, on vases. So now I just turn to my other side and I'm going to keep turning my sponge around. It's a background technique, like if you're doing vases. You could do this with on bowls and plates. You could do the same thing with underglazes. Yeah.
I see that they normally put glaze in a bottle and then they have like a ink and write with it.
Yep. So I'm just gonna grab some more paint. And we're just gonna sponge it on there. And you want to keep turning it so you don't have a pattern. You want it very random. And you can let some of the navy show through if you want. So I'm going to grab some more. And it's just on there again. And I want to keep turning it so there's no pattern to my stamping. You want to get up to the crevice there, and that's okay if it's on there. We'll touch that back up. And you want to get in your little perch hole so that kind of matches. And we're going to just come down. I'm going to give it its little twirl. I want a little more of the baby blue in there, I think. And now I'm going to go to the baby blue and the white and grab some, do it that way. Now I have the white on there. And I'm actually going to blot that out on my paper towel here first because I don't want it too white. And we'll go back to the back here and just add a little bit of white. And I'm just going to push down and turn it just a little bit just to blend that white in there a little bit. And you can have as much or little white as you want. That was kind of a lot right there. I'm going to actually turn the sponge and see if we can get some of that off. And we'll come over here and get a little white on this side. And I'll use the other end of the sponge where there isn't much white. And we got the front left here. I'm just putting it kind of evenly all over. So now it's a little dry, so I'm actually I dipped my sponge in the bowl of water, and now I'm blotting it out on the paper towel. And that'll give me just a little bit of moisture, so that'll blend in there a little better. Because the blue is drying underneath there, so it just needs a little bit of moisture. And all you gotta do is dip your sponge in the water and then blot it out on your paper towel and then come back. So now if you didn't like that and you wanted more navy, you could actually go back and add some more navy. I'll just do that on the back side here. And I'm just gonna dip a corner of my sponge in the navy, kind of blot it out on the foil there to get it a little more blended. So you can come back and add more navy if you wanted more navy in there. See? And then just kind of work it out. And we'll put a little navy on the sides here, just a little bit. And we'll bring some to the front. So it's a little dry. I'm just going to add a little water to that. And then I'll dip, I patted it out on the paper towel there. I just don't want it real strong. So I'm just pushing it down and just giving it a little bit of a turn so it kind of gets a little blended. Just because I wanted a little bit more navy on there. So we have it on the back. We have it on that side. I think we missed this side. Now I got rust on there. So there's kind of a strong blue right there. I'm just going to dip my sponge in the water, dab it out on my paper towel, and I can come and lighten that up. Just with that little extra moisture. So now it's more even there. So there's your marbling on your birdhouse. So you can do however much you want. If you want a lot more navy, you can add more navy. If you want more white, you can add more white. So we'll pull this aside now. So now we have it kind of gobbed up on our trim and on the bottom. So we'll navy, which is our OS567 navy. That one's really hard to see. OS567 navy. It's autofocus. Hold it for a minute.
Or are we pushing your hand in front of it? Yeah, and I'll pull it back.
There, that's better. Navy. OS567 navy.
Anytime the camera does it, put
Oh,
your hand
okay.
in there and then the camera will readjust.
So now I'm just going to grab our brush, our size 8, and you can go smaller if you want to. And I just want to touch this up now because I don't want that all gobbed up like that. Then I'm going to rest him on the table. And we need some more paint. So I'm just going to trim that right up to it. And that might take 2 coats with that light color underneath there. So we'll just trim that out quick here. So did everyone do their birdhouses in the blue and the brown, or did you guys do different colors altogether?
I think some of them do it all the time.
You could do different colors. You don't have to do the blues and the browns. You could do reds, greens, whatever colors you like. It didn't have to be the blue. I just kind of like the blue with the silver for myself. So I'm just going to bring this around. So I think Cordy was thinking when we go to the Ohio show in April, we'll have to have a meetup time where we all could maybe meet at a certain area and get to put names with our faces. That would be kind of cool. If anyone's going, that is. That seems like it's a pretty popular show. That's why we're going to it, and it's not. It ain't too far. I mean, it's 9 hours, but.
I think Ohio has a lot of ceramic shops, like more than like everywhere else.
So Cordy thinks Ohio has more ceramic shops than a lot of other places, and it seems that way. It seems pretty popular down there. So I'm just going to make sure my bottom looks good. Now I'm going to trim the bottom out on the roof area. We want that to look nice. We don't want it all gobbed up. So now the way that we trimmed out or dry brushed our cardinal, you could do that with any size cardinal. It doesn't have to just be those little cardinals. If you have smaller cardinals, you can do the same thing. If you have bigger cardinals, that's just the color combination that I use on any cardinals really that I do. And we'll finish those guys out next week along with the chickadees, and then the following week when your boxes are being shipped, we'll do the the blue jays, and Cordy says the bluebirds, but then it's all bluebirds. We should do a different color. We should do the yellow finches.
Do a blue, some type of bluebird.
I know we can do one finch and we can do one bluebird.
Oh, I thought like because
instead of doing the whole pair, we can do one of each. Then you guys will learn three different things. The blue jays, one can be a finch and one can be a bluebird. How's that?
Mm-hmm.
That might take a little longer, but that's okay. Whoop, a little piece of paint in there.
What did you use to seal your birdhouses? Like, does it matter with the...
So Cordy's asking, what did I use to seal them? Because of the metallic, I don't want a flat sealer. I want I don't want it really glossy either, so I use the in-between one, which I have to think because they changed the names, is the satin. So I would use the satin aerosol sealer, so the metallic has a little bit of a shine to it. The inside should be have a sealer on it if they're going outside, which you could paint a brush-on sealer in there. So I'm just going to paint our roof there where we got a big old white spot. Oh, we got our front to do yet. So these guys are pretty quick and easy to do. I did see some mosaic ones. I'd like to try to mosaic them.
With glass?
Yep. Cordy says with glass. Yes, with glass.
You never know if you could paint mosaics. If anybody could paint mosaics.
Well, you could paint it too. I'd rather just do the real thing though.
We got a couple left over.
It's just that you have to use little pieces and it would take longer.
You do just the roof or the whole thing?
The whole thing. Cordy says, would you do the roof or the whole thing? I would do the whole thing, mosaic it. We do have some bigger birdhouses that would work better. I mean, they'd be pretty, but it'd be putsy because you'd have to have really little pieces. So I'm just going back and touching up the bottom where the light blue is showing through the navy. Am I in the screen? Courtney's tired the way it looks to me.
Yep.
We ain't going to be doing much planning tonight.
Nope. My bedtime.
It's her bedtime?
You can get up with me in the morning.
I'm not getting up at 4 a.m.
Nice and quiet then.
It's going to be quiet in my bed too.
Get a lot of work done.
So make sure you guys can see. I'm just trimming out our edges so it looks nice and neat instead of globbed all over light blue. At least I don't have to drive home tonight. But it was daylight when I drove. I left at 5:30 and it was still daylight out, which that's pretty nice. Instead of being dark. So I think, what, maybe 2 more weeks and we flip the clocks around? That'll be good. So I'm just flipping him around and getting the under edge here too. Oh, we have lots of chicken molds too, roosters. I want to get those guys out and get them poured. Those would be good yard things for the summer to do.
What did you say?
I have lots of rooster molds.
Yeah, you tried talking me into that huge rooster.
I think we have like 6 rooster molds and one's probably like 20 inches tall.
I didn't let you bring that big one home.
No, there was an even bigger one, but I thought it might be a little too hard to pour. I didn't bring him.
I don't know where you would have put him.
He was big. It would have been nice to have though.
He would have been like 3 feet tall.
I don't know if he was 3 feet tall, but he was probably like 27 inches tall. Yeah, the mold was, but then he's smaller inside that. But that would have been cool.
And I think it was a pair.
Yep, they had a pair. We should have got them. Okay, so we got our blue all touched up here. Get a little more on the front. I can see navy or light blue through there yet. So yeah, we have a lot of cool things to get poured. Oh, and I see a little spot on the back here.
And so she did a ceramic birdhouse roof in pennies. And I had a lot of compliments.
Oh.
She put pennies on the roof.
Oh, that's cute.
Do you just use like a silicone then, or how?
Yep. Cordy asked, would you glue that stuff on? Would you use a silicone or the E6000?
But what about like grout lines? Is it just clear?
Well, grout isn't clear. No, grout is usually a color.
But if you're doing the pennies, wouldn't you use a clear one?
No, there isn't clear grout.
Like a caulk or something? Or resin, I'm thinking.
You're thinking resin. But they'd be flat then. You'd have to pour it on there. I don't know how that would work. Alrighty, so we got that guy trimmed out. We'll just let him dry for a minute. I'm going to clean out my brush here again. Again, just brush back and forth across the brush cleaning pad. Get your brush nice and clean. Oh, I gotta put that sponge in there. That thing will be dried up. Oh, did ya?
I don't like to clean stuff.
Oh. Alrighty, so let's see. We'll go back to our little dowels. And do we have E6000? Yep. So we have our little dowels that are in. Do you have a little knife? So you guys might need a knife for these to actually get them to fit. We couldn't find the exact size. That's fine, that little utility knife. So I think I used the Saddle Brown, so the OS567. Let's see if we can get that bugger to focus. Saddle Brown. Okay. So I should actually get them to fit here. So you want to get it to fit probably before you paint it. So I'm just going to take and whittle a little bit off. Right, I don't want to go to the doctor over a perch. So cut away from you.
What if you just put a little glab of glue and put it in there?
Huh?
If you just put a glab of glue.
So then that fits in there like that. So now we'll get these two. It's like you got a mouse Did you?
Yep. Well, actually, he's seen my...
Oh, he took them away from you and did
Yeah,
it.
he's seen it and then he took over. Apparently I didn't do a good job putting moss on.
Oh, the moss?
Yeah,
Oh boy.
It didn't look good.
Well, Courtney's not a crafty girl.
No.
Jason did the moss for her. So we got that one in there. Okay, so now we're going to have to lay these aside and not mix them up when we paint them. So 1 and 2 and 3. So we'll take our brown again. And we're just going to paint those real quick. Oh, he rolled right off. So we'll just get these guys painted up. So I'm just working on the little perches here quick. Trying to keep them separate so they fit in their little holes. So we'll do our roof, and then we'll let these guys dry, and then we'll put them in, and then we can put our moss on, and then they're all done. I need a little more saddle brown. Do him. So we're supposed to have really nice temperatures starting tomorrow. But I don't think spring is here yet. So we'll let that sit. Put these guys aside. And we're going to grab our metallics now. And I want the silver, so it's the middle one. And I'm just going to dab in there. Get it on my finger. And I'm going to just rub it on here. And it goes a long ways. And you can put it up on there, or I just did it on the front facing piece of it. Kind of left that dark navy in there as another contrasting color.
And asked if a pencil sharpener would work.
I don't know if a pencil sharpener would work if you could get it in there. If you got a kitchen paring knife, that'll work. So you can put it on as thick as you want. You can let some navy showing through, or you can let hardly any navy showing through, like I got it in the front there. So now, there were other metallics available in the past, like the Doc Hollidays, which were in little pots, but those are no longer available, so it's hard to get metallics. This is what's available currently, although they're the manufacturer's not making these anymore, so once they're gone, they're gone. You could go to Hobby Lobby or Joann Fabrics or Amazon, and there are craft rub-on paste metallics. That's what you would want to look for. Deco Art is one of the companies that does make them. They come in about a 3-inch by 1/2-inch pot. So if you want other colors, or once these are gone, you can still try those other products. As far as the ceramic manufacturers, I don't think there's any rub-on metallics anymore. Doc Hollidays were my favorite, and I do have a stash of them for myself. You may go to a shop that has a stash that hasn't sold theirs yet. If you come across them, I would buy what you can, because they're really, really nice. Huh?
They don't really go bad unless they
They can get dry. I've dipped my finger in water then and kind of brought them back. But like one of those pots would probably last a crafter a long time. It goes really a long ways. But if you can find the Deco Art brand, those work really well too. It's just that it's going to be in a craft store, in the craft and the paint aisle. So I'm just rubbing my silver on, kind of rubbing in circles. You can put as much or as little as you like. I like a lot more. I don't like a whole lot of the paint showing through with the silver. I like more paint showing through with the copper, but not as much with the silver. So that's all kind of personal preference. I do use this metallics on Christmas ornaments, memory angels. Oh, I was supposed to bring a couple things. You didn't remind me. I'll have to do it next week. Anything that would have like you could use it on those pickup trucks, on those bumpers. It's a pretty handy little stuff. Anything that could maybe look like it's supposed to be metal, like statues that might be outside, you could rub it on those. He says I'm low again, so I'm just going in the circles here. Just rubbing it in. I want a nice coverage. Kind of bringing it down here. Turn him around. Cordy says, does it come off your fingers easy? No, not really. You might want to wear gloves, I guess, if you need to have your fingers perfectly clean. It's kind of like a grease. It kind of gets in there. So I'm just going to touch those up. I want a little more. So you just rub as much as you want. You just rub it in until it's at the degree of silver that you want. I like a little bit of blue showing through, but not a whole lot with the silver. So hopefully you can see that it's nice and silver. It's got a little blue showing through here yet. So there's our little birdhouse. Now if you want, you could take your finger and like hit and miss here and there and add a little sparkle to the sides of your birdhouse too. It's kind of probably hard to see on the camera, but it just adds another little. I'll try to do it a little heavier so you can see it. So you can add, that was a little much, even over your marbling, just to like carry it through the whole birdhouse. Just gives it a little silver sparkle. I got it on my thumb even here, but so it just gives it a little extra, little something extra. Alrighty, so I'm going to wipe my hands off because I got silver everywhere. So you can see it doesn't come off real easy. Okay, now we're going to sit these on their side. We're going to come back to our little perches. And I'm just going to put some E6000 on here. Maybe. Oh, there it comes. Maybe. Yep. Just put a little on my peg here. And we'll stick that in there. And you want to look at it, make sure it's straight. Alrighty, and then we have this one, which I think was the bottom one. And then we have our top one. And we'll stick that in there. And you want to look at them, make sure they're straight. So I got some silver on there. We'll have to touch that up with the paint, because it's all over my hands. There. Put that in the water for a minute. Then you also had some, let's see, are they in the screen, Courtney? You're not watching for me here.
Yeah.
So now we had our Spanish moss that was in our boxes. And we're just going to put a little bit on each one. And you could use the craft glue, the hot glue. I'm just going to use the E6000 because that's what Courtney's got here for me. And I'm just going to put some right on the birdhouse and right onto the perch. And it looks like a little much. And then you just want to let that dry. And then we'll put some on this one.
Connie asked if you could show the brown house again with the roof after you're done.
Okay. So we'll get some more moss here for our other one. You should have more than enough. Try to put extra in the little baggies. I usually like to take the moss and kind of twirl it together, kind of get it compact. And then you can put it on there.
I think your brother-in-law packed them off with this box.
Courtney says that my brother-in-law packed those. Really?
Yep, with the extra.
Oh. So I'm just going to kind of bind it together. Yeah, everybody's helping to get our boxes out so we can make it till May when I'm doing it full time. Oh, Courtney said my brother-in-law packed the moss packages for us. Everybody's helping so we can get our boxes out until I can do this full time as we're growing. So there's your little moss on your boxes. You can have less or more. You can take a scissors and cut that after it's dried if you want. So that's what your boxes look like. So now there's our copper roof, which was the third one from the end next to the silver and next to the dark red. So that's, you can see it's on there, quite a bit on there. So that's our little birdies and our little houses. So these kind of went with this one. And then the little chickadees go with the silver one. So next week we will move on with our cardinals and our chickadees. We should get those done, I think. And then the following week we will do we will paint one of these as a bluebird. One is a finch, and then we'll do a pair of blue jays with the cardinal looking ones. So if you got extra birds, that's what you can do. And that'll just, if you have birds in the future, then you'll have a reference on how to do the birds. So I think that's about it. We're probably close to 8:30 or 8:30, and we're moving right along with our birdhouses and birds in our Winter Friends box. Look for our March box, which is our Easter box, shortly. I will be finishing painting it tomorrow while I'm here with Courtney, and we're doing our ordering. And then I'm not sure how quick she'll get it on, but I would think by Monday, Tuesday at the latest, we'll have it on for pre-orders. And I think that's about it. Watch for next Wednesday when Courtney does our Bisque drop for Easter Bisque drop. I can't say that once without saying it 5 times. So I'm working on lots of greenware, getting it cleaned and fired. I took off tomorrow and Monday to do that. So I have 4 days to work on that. It's all poured, it's just be cleaned and fired. So that'll go pretty quick with the big kiln. It's a matter of getting it all cleaned. We have Easter eggs, we have egg pression bunnies, there's bunnies, there's some chicks, there's Happy Easter, there's It's Spring. Nice little variety of stuff. Happy Easter, there's It's Spring. Nice little variety of stuff. Oh, and we have the Easter Bunny truck insert. What Well, he's so white, he's hard to see. Oh, there, that's pretty good. So I'm getting him poured. The Christmas tree one's getting poured, and the pumpkins are getting poured. We may do a set of the 3.
I can fit like for one in the box.
Cordy,
I can't fit like all of them.
all 3 of the truck inserts will not fit in the subscription box, but you could order them separately too, or you could order 1 each month.
I can get one to fit in the box.
Yeah, Cordy says only 1 of the truck inserts is going to fit in the box, because like the Christmas tree one is a pretty good size. So just watch for Wednesday's drop. I don't know if it'll be right away in the morning or later in the day, but throughout the day Wednesday.
Mm-hmm.
And then we'll be back on Thursday. We'll paint our cardinals and our chickadees, and I hope you guys have a great week. And take care till next time, and messages if you have any questions. Thank you for joining us. We love you guys. Thank you.